wild card. They'll be getting going at 12 o'clock. Nick Pivetta will be on the mound for the Padres, while the Cubs have not decided their game one starter yet. And then Bob Melvin has been fired from the San Francisco Giants after managing for 2 seasons. And Giants star wide receiver Malik Neighbors out for the season with a torn ACL. The Haunted Trail Balboa Park is back with 2 haunts and 1, a mile-long terrifying outdoor trail in the 3,500 square foot experiment maze. CNN named the Haunted Trail in the top 5 best haunted attractions in America. Come see why. Busy nights sell out fast. Get tickets now at hauntedtrail.net.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Well, don't keep us in suspense any longer. Show us what you got.
It's week 4 in the league.
Snap, placement, kick to the uprights, and it is good! And the game ends in a tie.
Take a look at what this numbnuts did.
The Bears are celebrating. They are going to sneak out of Allegiant Stadium with a 25-24 win.
The 49ers cannot stop it. They're out of timeouts.
This is one hell of a win now on the West Coast. Congratulations to Liam Cohen and this football team.
Oops. Sorry, Fletch. Big line, Kansas City.
They're going to roll to the right side, and Emma Holmes throws for the end zone card. Touchdown, Kansas City. Marquise Brown, Hollywood.
And tonight, it's Jets versus Dolphins. Someone has to win, right? Plus, the Padres finish the season strong. Now they get set to face the Cubs in the wild card round. And we'll break down the Aztecs' win over Northern Illinois.
Tied at 3. Snap, hold, kick on the way is up, and the kick is good.
A win's a win. Especially inside the studios of San Diego Sports 760. With the Fletch Zone.
Let's get it going on a Monday. What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben Fletcher. That is Sammy Long. We are with you till 2 o'clock today. John and Jim will be taking over. Then we have one of the busier shows we've ever had coming up for you today. Padres are going to be in Chicago starting tomorrow for a noon first pitch, which means Sammy and I will actually be on the air during the Padres postseason game tomorrow. The Aztecs get a tough road win over Northern Illinois. It was a good win, man. It was an ugly game, but a W is a W. Danny Vietti is going to jump on coming up at 12:30. He's with CBS Sports. He's going to be breaking down the entire Major League Baseball postseason. And, of course, we are going to focus deeply on some Padres-Cubs action out at Wrigley starting tomorrow at noon today. It's going to be a big one. We also have a bunch of giveaways for you. Something that I'm actually going to be attending this weekend, the La Mesa Oktoberfest. We got some VIP tickets to hand out for this Sunday in La Mesa, down in my neck of the woods.
Oh, some VIP?
Sammy, you got to come. We're heading out on Saturday. La Mesa Oktoberfest is next level. It is so much fun in that downtown little stretch. So that's coming up this weekend, but we'll have a pair of VIP tickets for you to give away. Judas Priest and Alice Cooper. Come on, man.
God.
October 18th is the show. We got a pair of tickets for that. And San Diego State beginning conference play against Colorado State this weekend, or this Friday night, 7:30 kickoff at Snapdragon Stadium. GoAztecs.com for tickets. We got a pair to give away on the show today. Sammy, how the hell are we going to break all this up? We got too much to get to.
I know we got a lot to get to today. It's this is the best sports time of year. I mean, there's nothing better than this.
MLB postseason going on. MLS postseason on the horizon. NFL insanity taking place all day yesterday. Sammy's happy today. I'm sad today. His Chiefs dominated.
Beautiful day today.
My Niners looked awful, and Sammy's just coming back from Vegas. How's our bank account looking?
It was a little rough, but it was a very fun weekend. Did not get a lot of sleep, but we are all jacked up to be here on a Monday.
Who needs sleep? Sleep is for old people, Sammy. You're all good to go. All right, let's get right into it. Padres, Cubs, starting tomorrow out at Wrigley Field. A noon pitch, first pitch, not kickoff time. But Padres, who after this weekend, maybe I'm alone in this, feel pretty good about the Padres. Offense seems to be coming to life. Manny Machado gets a homer. Xander Bogaerts gets a homer. Fernando Tatis Jr. with a grand slam over the weekend. It's all of a sudden the Padres offense, Jackson Merrill looking good too, is looking pretty good against not really the B squad for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So you look at the Padres right now heading into this series against the Cubs. And I guess what worries you is the fact that the Cubs are going to have a very left-handed heavy bullpen and left-handed heavy starting pitching. And the Padres are not great. A, on the road against good teams, and B, against left-handed pitching all year. So those are kind of the cons of everything. The pros of everything, the Padres feel like, to me, their offense is rounding into some postseason form here over the last week and a half. And we'll see if that can continue. You got 2 shots right away to prove it. There's a disturbing stat that's out there right now that does have me a little concerned. Since the Major League Baseball switched from wild card games to wild card series, whoever wins game 1 of those wild card series goes on to win the series. It's been 100% across the board. So that puts so much emphasis on Nick Pavetta's start coming up tomorrow for the San Diego Padres that's the only thing that has me shaking in my boots a little bit, Sammy.
Totally. It's going to be a really fun 2-3 days, however long it goes. But to that end, I think even without that stat, that's how the Padres are going to have to win, because the major concern with the Padres, if we see them win this series, it's because starting pitching took them much further than it has the last month. I agree with you on the bats. It was nice to see against the Arizona Diamondbacks team, who did have an outside shot to get in. It was getting kind of tough after they lost the final 2 games to the Dodgers last week, but still the Padres, it was nice seeing Frano hit that grand slam. It's just nice seeing them find it a little bit, and now you got to do it on the biggest stage. And with the Cubs, you're gonna have to have one of these pitchers for the Padres, and probably 2 go aways, because we know we can count on the bullpen. But what you can't do is have the bullpen try to save you every night. That can't be the thing going in the series. If we see the Padres going out this week, it's probably we're talking about later this week about how the starting pitching staff didn't give you enough. Nick Pivetta has been the best player on the Padres for the starting pitching consistently all season. He's got to give you a big time performance, so you can probably try to save the bullpen and win that game 1. And on the road, yeah, I think that's a tough task to lose game 1 and then go beat a good Cubs team in games 2 and 3. They certainly can do it. The odds makers have the Cubs as a slight favorite, which makes sense because they're in Wrigley, but it's one of the tightest spread of all the playoff games. So they're giving the Padres a lot of respect, but it comes down to, are the Padres bats going to show up? And we get answers tomorrow night.
Now, Cade Horton, who's been fantastic for the Cubs, is injured. He won't be pitching in this series. He has potential to come back in the NLDS if they make it past the Padres. But that doesn't mean they don't have 2 excellent left-handed starting pitchers who are most likely going to start off this series for them. They have not announced, the Cubs have not announced who their starting pitcher will be even tomorrow, but you imagine it's probably going to be either Imanaga or Boyd. Now, Imanaga has been excellent against the Padres in his career. Boyd, we'll see. But 2 really, really good left-handed starting pitchers for the Cubs. That's worrisome for the Padres. Padres have announced Nick Pivetta is going to be their opener or opening game starter in this wild card series. We don't know about game 2 yet, although Kevin Acee hinted that it could potentially be Dylan Cease in game 2, as he's been playing better here coming down the stretch.
How do you feel about that?
Everything makes me a little bit nervous with this, Sammy. First of all, I'm nervous that it's not at Petco Park, because the biggest thing for the Padres this year has been on the road against good teams. They've struggled. Well, guess what? You're going on the road against a good Cubs team that has a lineup that maybe is a little bit worse than yours, starting pitching that's a little bit better than yours, and a bullpen that's a little bit worse than yours. So like, you kind of mix everything together. It feels like a coin flip series to me through and through. I have no way to know if there's an edge either side. Vegas thinks there's a Cubs edge. I think that's a lot because it's in Chicago. If it was in San Diego, it would be flipped the opposite way. This very much feels like one of those 3-point spreads in the NFL where it literally just depends on who's on the road, who's at home.
It does feel like a pick 'em. And with that game 2, it is interesting because Dylan Cease has been playing better. You'd look at Michael King. That's who they would like it to be. Well, I guess you probably like Dylan Cease to be your game 1 starter had he played well all season, but he hadn't played well.
If we're being honest, you would like for Joe Musgrove to be your game 1 starter.
100%.
Like, you could throw everything out the window because the season just has not gone according to plan.
And with Michael King, you're going to see it's kind of the wild card. He pitched better in his last couple starts, but again, only a few starts, 4 starts since coming back from injury, so you don't totally know what you're going to get. Pivetta is interesting because I actually think that we're going to see game 1. He needs to be the game 1 starter. Now, he is a little bit of a fly ball pitcher.
He is. Pivetta is the game 1 starter.
No, I know he is. I'm saying, but like Pivetta and Darvish they're fly ball pitchers. At Wrigley, that's not always the best thing because of the wind. It takes it out. Thankfully, it's in the middle of the day. Hopefully, the wind's pretty down. But I think if this goes to a game 3, we're obviously getting ahead of ourselves. But I think you could see a combo of Cease and Darvish. I'm curious how Schilt deploys the starting pitching staff, almost making it into a little bit of a bullpen there.
All right, let's get to the big 3. Here's my question for the text line today: 70470. Start your message with team, and I want you to get creative with this. Give me the best excuse for missing work tomorrow that isn't I want to stay home to watch the Padres. What is the best excuse you're going with? Because I know for a fact so much of San Diego is not going to be at work.
No one's going to work tomorrow.
Well, we are, Sammy.
We are. Hopefully you're listening while you're watching the game.
For sure. So hit us up on the text line 70470. Start your message with team. Sammy, we got time for like a big 1.5. Let's hit it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
All right, watch the show on X at Fletch and Sammy, on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760. Sammy, where are we starting?
All right, let's go to Sunday Night Football. Excellent game, 40-40 tie. I mean, who saw that one coming? Packers.
Not an excellent game. It's a tie. Ties are stupid.
that is true. But in terms of what was on the field, it was excellent. Crazy seeing the Dallas offense score that much without CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, the big story going into the game, Micah Parsons returned to Dallas. Jerry Jones made a big thing last week about how, and he said it on the pregame show, he said we could get 5 or 6 potentially impact players versus just one in Micah Parsons. Was Jerry right?
Look, how weird was it, by the way, that literally after Carrie Underwood sings, the first thing we see is Jerry Jones saying, I expect Micah to have a big game. He's going to make some big plays. Like, we come to expect that out of Micah, and I love and respect him as a football player. Like, it was just bizarre that took over the entirety of the pregame broadcast. Now, outside of that, Micah Parsons didn't really have a huge impact on that game. Dak Prescott looked fantastic. I'm telling you, Dak Prescott definitely outplayed Jordan Love. The Packers just have
100%.
The Packers just have a better roster overall. But if you're looking at quarterback to quarterback, Dak Prescott played himself a hell of a football game last night. I think that a lot came into play with this game. The new overtime rules in the NFL are good for football. I firmly believe that. Both teams deserve to have a shot. The new kickoff rules change everything about how the final 2 minutes of a game is played. It is no longer a 2-minute drill that offenses have to operate. It's like a 45-second drill, because the closer you get to midfield, just based on the kickoff, you're asking guys to complete 2 passes to get in the field goal range. So it's insane where football is at right now. That was a very fun game, although anything ending in the tie is so stupid. Pat McAfee actually had a good bit on that today. They're talking about the golden, what was it? The golden foot, the golden leg rule, where if it gets to a tie by the end of the overtime period, they should go from a 50-yard field goal. Both teams kick the 50. If they both make it, you move back to 55, and then goes on and on and on until someone.
They could have just handed the Cowboys the W with Brandon Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey, so overpowered in that sense. But awesome game last night. I wish we didn't have to focus so much on Jerry Jones.
Yeah, of course, Jerry Jones is on the pregame show. I literally said that same thing. I was watching my family. I'm like, the only owner in the NFL that has sitting on the pregame show as Micah walks out there, and there's like cheers and some boos.
But even the like high quality television package they put together after Carrie Underwood sings the song. Usually it's straight to football after that, but not when it's at Jerry's World. No.
Not when it's at Jerry's World. That game was electric. Yeah, both quarterbacks were fantastic. I got to give Jordan Love a little bit of love, not for a pun there, because I've been kind of down on him. Not that I think he's a bad quarterback. I just have questions if he's going to be able to lead them to go beat Philly in the playoffs and then the Rams and so forth. Dallas was surprised. Like, Dallas played very well. No CeeDee Lamb. Dak Prescott showed you, like,
Pickens took a big step forward yesterday.
And Dak Prescott, he got hurt last year. 2 years ago, this dude was in the MVP conversation. And if you take out the fact that it's Dallas, and if you're not a Cowboys fan, most people are rooting against Dallas, and some of the playoff failures that Dak Prescott has had, I mean, he is a legit, really good quarterback in this league. It was a fun game. I'm impressed. Like, the Cowboys moving forward, it's if you're a tie, I think the Packers are more disappointed after you mentioned this before the show. You put up a stinker against the Browns, and then you give up 40 points in your supposed vaunted defense to the Cowboys with no CeeDee Lamb. I mean, I get there at home, but come on now, that's a little too much. And but if I'm the Cowboys today, outside of being 1-2-1, I'm sitting there going, hey, we could make a run at the playoffs. Like, this is not out of the question.
That was huge, and that's a potential postseason matchup that we might see this year. We've seen Cowboys and Packers play against each other a ton in the postseason, and I would sign up for it. That was a fun freaking football game. Sammy, we got one more.
We're going to head to Kansas City. We're going to talk about
the Chiefs are back. Oh, my gosh.
1-2 Baltimore Ravens heading into Kansas City, take on the 1-2 Kansas City Chiefs. My Chiefs dismantle the Baltimore Ravens. Are you more high on the Chiefs today or more low on the Baltimore Ravens?
Of course I'm more high on the Chiefs today, Sammy. You get Xavier Worthy back. You have a deep threat back. You're able to open up Juju Smith-Schuster, who had himself a hell of a game. The Chiefs are going to be fine, which we also said that 2 weeks ago. You just like to live in despair.
No, I said that 2 weeks ago.
I said that 2 weeks ago, too. I was like, the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be okay. They need Rashee Rice back. They need Worthy back. So we're fine. We all knew that about the Chiefs. What I will say about the Ravens, I think we've hit the cliff for Derrick Henry. He had zero impact on that game yesterday. He's lost the Ravens 2 games this year with fumbles. Derrick Henry, man, I don't know where he was at yesterday, but what the hell? And Lamar Jackson, was that really a hamstring injury, or were you just sad that you were getting your ass kicked? I don't know the answer to that. He is questionable for next week's game.
He's questionable for Houston, which is a pretty big matchup, both 1-3. That could be kind of almost a playoff eliminator for that one. It's almost as if I told everyone that
my God,
when the
here we
receivers were back, one of them that the offense would become electric. I'm just going to, it's very exciting.
Still don't have a run game.
No. There's still problems. The kicking game is an issue. Harrison Butker needs to get his act together. The run game is not where it needs to be. I think they need to address that via trade. But it was very exciting seeing my Chiefs finally unleash the offense. Most points scored since the beginning of 2023 for the Chiefs. Mahomes definitely took last week. Personal. Now on the Ravens side, yes, there are a lot of injuries. There are a lot of injuries for them on defense. But I'm surprised.
The Ravens defense has been bad all year, man.
And I look at Lamar Jackson, and I'm a big Lamar fan, so I don't want to come on here and just bash Lamar Jackson. It does feel like, though, against the Chiefs, he's 1-6 in his career. It's like a mental block thing. I mean, people forget, if you watch that game, they ran down the field and scored on the Chiefs in the first drive. Like, it looked like it was going to be an absolute shootout. You're wondering if the Chiefs could respond, because we hadn't seen them look this good since Worthy came back. And it was just kind of lost. He seemed lost all day. Yeah, hopefully he plays next week. It did seem like with the game being out of reach at the end of the third quarter, with the Chiefs up 17, he was like, I'm sitting out of this one. But it just feels like the Chiefs and the Lions have given you a blueprint for Lamar, kind of like the league gave Mahomes a few years ago. Remember when everyone was playing the double high safety and Mahomes couldn't figure it out and the Chiefs were turning the ball over left and right? It kind of feels like with Lamar, if you blitz him and you don't let him out of the pocket and you blitz him all day and you get a lead and you make them have to throw from it, it just feels like Steve Spagnuolo's got his number and Lamar's got to make an adjustment because they can't afford to lose more games.
Well, very predictably, the text line is roasting my 49ers. I get that. I've earned that. I deserve that. Keep them coming if you want to. But the question we're asking the text line today, the best excuse to get out of work for the next 2 days because the Padres are going to be playing in the middle of the work
I got
day.
a lot.
70470, start your message with team. What's the best excuse to get out of work for the next couple of days? All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. We are going to be giving something away on the other side. We're going to spin the wheel and decide what it is. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. And we got 13 chances today for you to win $1,000 every weekday with the bonus bucks giveaway every hour from 6 to 6. Listen for the keyword, enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance to win $1,000 coming up at 1 o'clock. Speaking of Drake, a lot of people wanted him to be the Super Bowl halftime show this year.
I thought that would have been fantastic. Are you a big Bad Bunny guy?
I'm not going to say no, I'm not. I have listened to his music. I like his music. It's fun. It's not something I go to on a regular basis when I'm on the free iHeartRadio app browsing for music. I'm more of a country guy. You know this, Sammy. I like classic rock. You know this, Sammy. I can't say that I've ever listened to and loved Bad Bunny music. What I will say is I know people who've been to Bad Bunny concerts and they say it is awesome. And it's like one of the coolest, most unforgettable shows you've ever seen. So I have high hopes for him doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
It sounds like the NFL wants to move a team to Brazil because we got Karol G and then we got Bad Bunny. It just listen. I'm Bad Bunny. I'm not like some massive fan. Hopefully he puts on a good show. I've heard the same things. People absolutely love Bad Bunny, but let's I was a little shocked at that. That's an interesting choice for like I don't know.
I'm not to really expose myself, but Kendall fell for one of the traps that was out online. My wife, Kendall, she came to me on Saturday and was like, oh my God, Adele's doing the halftime show. And I guess it was fake. But I spent about 24 hours insanely excited for Adele to do the halftime show.
That would have been a show. I'm surprised with Bad Bunny because
Adele would knock it out of the park.
Like Bad Bunny's huge, but we're talking about America. Like obviously you're watching the Super Bowl. It's an American audience.
Right.
And there's a lot bigger stars. In America than Bad Bunny. In the world, I get it. Bad Bunny does like some of the biggest numbers there is. I'm a little shocked at it. I'm surprised the NFL went that way.
They went in with a reason to do it. They're trying to bring in the Latin audience, dude, and you can't hate on that. They had games in Mexico City. They got games in Brazil. They're trying to put a team somewhere. I think Mexico City is probably an option for the NFL. They want to move a team.
That'd be
there.
cool.
So we'll see. I think it's going to be a good show. I hope it's going to be a good show. Last year's Kendrick performance I liked because I like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
but a lot of people hated it. Like I talk with Rich and Travis every day. They don't really know Kendrick Lamar music, so it fell completely flat on him. But we'll see. Maybe this is going to be a similar situation. I happen to think Bad Bunny on stage, bunch of Latinas shaking their booties. This is going to work out.
Hey,
nice.
Listen, it might be fantastic. They're bringing in the female audience. I'm with it. But
I'm with it.
I think you should let Drake go year 2. You let Kendrick go last year. They had the beef. Let Drake go year 2, and let's see who had the better halftime show.
Yeah,
my boy Drizzy would have definitely done it.
Viva Padres saying Metallica should have been the halftime performers, but Bad Bunny was the better business decision. The group I always say should do the halftime show is Foo Fighters.
Fantastic.
I think it'd be amazing. All their hits. Dave Grohl is such a showman. I think it would be perfect, but who listens to me? It doesn't work.
The problem with Metallica, and I love Metallica, is that they already have dudes watching.
Yeah.
Dudes are going to watch. So Metallica doesn't do a lot for you in terms of.
And they already sell out everywhere they go. So that's kind of the point. I don't know. Bad Bunny, we'll see. I think it's going to be fun. I really do. All right. We ran out of time. Damn it. We were talking about Super Bowl halftime show. Dylan Cease has been announced the starter of game 2.
Dylan Cease is going game 2 for the Padres. Quick reaction to that. By the way, Bad Bunny text on wants to let me know is Puerto Rican, not Brazilian. My bad on that.
Sammy, so insensitive. I cannot believe you. Cannot believe it. I'm excited about Bad Bunny. All right, Dylan Cease starting game 2. If it's officially official now, who's saying it is?
I believe Jesse Rogers.
Okay, Jesse Rogers. He works inside Major League Baseball, specifically covering the Cubs for a lot of it, but he's very trusted. I like Jesse a lot. If Dylan Cease is going game 2, my initial gut reaction is, oh my God, please pitch well. Dude, it's nerve-wracking. But Dylan is so up and down.
I'm curious with the text line thing. So we're going to get to a lot of text. 70470. Start your message with team. Like, who is the safer play? Because Michael King, in terms of what you saw before the injury and a little bit after, if you take away that Mets start, would be the safer option, you could say, in terms of how he's played this year. Because Dylan Cease has really struggled until the last couple of weeks. But is Michael King the safer option? Because you look at Michael King and you go, Michael King hasn't played that much since coming back from injury. Are you really going to send him out there in a game 2 where, I mean, if the Padres lose game 1, you're playing for your lives. Is it really that safe to send him out there? Now, Kevin Acey brought up an interesting thing a couple weeks on our show. the one positive thing for the Padres is because the bullpen is so good, in the postseason, you're always going to have someone warming. So you're not going to have a problem where if they get 2 on or 3 on and you don't have anyone warm, whereas the regular season, you can't just bail a starter out every time they get in trouble because you're going to throw these guys' arms out. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a short leash. So you're talking about Dylan Cease, Yu Darvish is coming in next, or to give you some length if he gets ate up in the first couple innings. I'm curious how Schilt manages these first couple games.
Still terrifies me. All right, quick break. Let's dive deeper into this series between the Padres and the Cubs with Danny Vietti, who covers Major League Baseball on a national level. He's next. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Before we do that, Sammy, what tickets do we want to give away right now? We got 3 separate giveaways today.
Read them one more time. Let's pick one.
San Diego State, Colorado State this Friday night.
Ooh.
Judas Priest, Alice in Chains, October 18th. La Mesa Oktoberfest this upcoming Sunday.
Wait, Alice in Chains or Alice Cooper?
Alice Cooper. What
Alice Cooper. I use Alice in Chains.
Sorry.
Let's do San Diego State.
San Diego State tickets on the line right now. GoAztecs.com to buy them. Pair of tickets for this Friday's matchup between San Diego State, Colorado State. On the line for caller number 7, 877-767-4760. Danny Vietti next.
This sports sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Padres game 1 tomorrow. Going in, they'll be in Chicago taking on the Cubs. They're a slight underdog in the series. Nick Pivetta will be going game 1 for the Pods, and just named game 2 from Jesse Rogers. Dylan Cease will get the nod ahead of Michael King. And Monday Night Football is a doubleheader matchup. The New York Jets are in Miami taking on the Dolphins, and then the nightcap is featuring the Cincinnati Bengals minus Joe Burrow heading in to take on Bo Nix in the Denver Broncos. Need HVAC this month? Get 0% for 18 months on a new system. Schedule your free proposal at AndersonPHA.com. Anderson, fast and reliable.
San Diego Sports 760 coming up Wednesday at 6 right here on 760. It's SDFC Midweek Live. Here from the head coach, Mikey Varis, as well as interviews with players and coaches. Find out the latest club and MLS information. SDFC Midweek Live, Wednesdays at 6 o'clock right here on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. All right, we're going to be getting Danny Vietti on. He's with CBS Sports, is leader of their Major League Baseball coverage here in just a minute to talk about this Padres and Cubs series. Some of the texts coming in from the 360. Fletch, you said the Cubs offense is a little worse than the Padres, who they're better than in every offensive category and by a lot. I know, 360, thank you for reaching out. But what I would say, it is trending better. The Padres over the last week, you feel like Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Xander Bogaerts, Jackson Merrill all feel like they're trending much, much better offensively. Some of that power is coming back. It's been good to see. But overall in the season, you're absolutely right. Cubs offense has been much better. 858 King overseas, but hey, I'm a baseball casual. Dude, it's interesting, and it's for sure a discussion going on with the Padres right now. But it sounds like Dylan Cease is going to get the nod in game 2. He has looked better as of late, but man, it makes you nervous. All right, we got Danny Vietti on the line. Find him all over the social medias at Danny Vietti. One of the best to do it here in the United States of America, cover Major League Baseball. Danny, what's going on?
Dude, it's a beautiful time of year. I mean, I don't know if you guys are feeling that energy down there in San Diego, which you absolutely should be, but this thing's wide open. Absolutely wide. I mean, you can make the case for 8 different teams that could be hoisting a trophy in a month from now. And the Padres are one of those teams. So it's a beautiful time to be alive right now.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, Padres just coming off another record season in terms of attendance. Petco Park is as full as it's ever been this year. Over 3.4 million people coming through the gates. It's been an incredible season, Danny. And it feels like we start a new season starting tomorrow. So Padres, Cubs on the outset. What do you think from the outside looking in, how this series is going to go?
Yeah, if you're looking at recent history, it's tough to gauge because the last time that these two teams matched up was in early April. And these two teams, 160, 150 games later, it's hard to judge what they are because they're just not the same team here in September, October as they were in April. It's going to be Nick Pivetta, game 1 for the Padres on the bump. And he had 2 mixed starts against the Cubs. One of them was very solid, 6 innings, 1 earned run. And in his second start against the Cubs, he really struggled with his control. So again, it's really tough to take anything too much away because especially early on in the season, a lot of the Padres starters had some pitch count restrictions, and it's just a completely different team on both sides of the ball. Now, on the Cubs side of things, they've really struggled offensively in the second half. Pete Crow Armstrong was an all-star and really an MVP candidate for the first half of the season for the Cubbies. The second half of the season, his OPS has dipped down into the 600s. His slugging percentage is down. His strikeout percentage is up. So he struggled. Similarly, Michael Busch had a very strong first half of the season at the leadoff position for them. He struggled in the second half. Kyle Tucker, he's been dealing with injuries to his lead hand, the way he holds the bat. He struggled in the second half. So this is a really strong offensive team. And if you look at their offensive numbers, they're very, very strong because they dominated in the first half. But this team, in a way, has been limping into the postseason for the last 2 months now. And so I think it's going to be a good matchup for both squads. Both teams are incredibly talented, both teams with really long lineups with a lot of depth. But the Padres absolutely have the advantage when it comes to pitching, particularly in that bullpen.
I'm curious from like a national perspective, who do you think has more pressure on them to win the series, the Cubs or the Padres, after kind of both the Padres made a bunch of moves at the deadline and the Cubs were kind of the early season favorite after how they played?
Unfortunately, the way it goes, it's always based on what your success and expectations were coming from the past season, right? Like the Padres at this juncture, they've gotten past the Dodgers twice. They've been able to solidify themselves as being not just a postseason contender, but a World Series contender. I think from the national perspective is a lot of people are looking for the Padres to make that next jump. And the next jump is making a World Series, winning a World Series. That's the next level that the Padres are looking to get to. For the Cubbies, they missed the postseason last year, and a lot of people considered that a failure. But it's kind of that recency bias where it's like, okay, they did make the playoffs last year. They at least improved this year, and they're in the postseason. So from a Cubs perspective, It's like, okay, they at least made a leap forward this year. Yeah, if they fall short of a World Series, there's going to be some disappointment, certainly, but you want to see steps being taken forward. And so for the Padres, a step forward for them would be NLCS, World Series. For the Cubs, they've already made that leap forward compared to the season prior. So I think right now the pressure, at least from a national perspective, I would argue the pressure is on the Padres.
All right, Danny, let's take a look at the two separate brackets on the National League side. And Danny Vietti joining us today covering Major League Baseball for CBS Sports. The Padres, if they want to get to an NLCS, they got to get through the Cubs and the Brewers. The Dodgers have to get through the Reds and the Phillies. Who do you think has the easier path?
I'll tell you what, man, you talk about pressure. The Reds were not supposed to be in this postseason. The Cincinnati Reds were on the outside looking in for the past handful of months, really most of the season. The Mets were supposed to be in there, and the Mets just completely fell flat and dropped the ball. And here's Cincinnati as the 6th seed facing off against the Dodgers in round 1. And Cincinnati, they're not a bad team, guys. This is a team with a star-studded starting rotation. That rotation has dealt with injuries, which, in my opinion, that's why they kind of scuffled a bit, didn't have the consistency that they wanted. But you're going to face off against Hunter Green, an all-star potential Cy Young candidate, as long as he stays healthy. Andrew Abbott, all-star this year. Nick Lodolo, strikeout stuff, electric lefty. And then a bullpen that has performed decently, at least in the second half. The lineup has been very up and down. But all of a sudden, this lineup that consists of Elly De La Cruz, Noelvi Marte, who's been hot, they have some decent names in there that if they can get hot, a team that has zero expectation, a team that nobody expects to make any noise against a star-studded team like the Los Angeles Dodgers, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm not going to sit up here and die on the hill saying the Reds are going to beat the Dodgers in a 3-game series, but we've seen it before. Arizona Diamondbacks, Milwaukee Brewers. That first round sometimes can be the toughest matchup for a team like the Dodgers just because of the pressure that is put on them. So I won't say who has the easiest road to the World Series because I think every round presents its own individual struggles. But I will say that first round matchup, Reds Dodgers, that's going to be very interesting to see a young, no pressure, no expectation Reds team face off against the Dodgers, who are trying to repeat as champions.
Looking at the AL side, where do you see that? Like, obviously we get the Red Sox, Yankees, going to be a really fun matchup. Who do you think should be the favorite on the AL?
Yeah, it's interesting this year. I was kind of looking at the statistics, and I try and key in on a couple key figures come postseason time. One of those being runners in scoring position. How do teams do with runners in scoring position in high leverage situations? And how do teams do bullpen wise and strikeout percentage offensively? Right now, the Yankees are the biggest power threat in the league. They led the league in homers this year, but you look at their strikeout percentage, and it was in the bottom 5 of the league. Similarly, the Detroit Tigers at the 6th seed, they had a bottom 5 strikeout percentage as well. Seattle Mariners, also bottom 5 strikeout percentage in the American League. You look at the Toronto Blue Jays, who have the number 1 seed, are going to get that bye. The Toronto Blue Jays do things a little differently. They operate differently than what most teams do in 2025. They put the ball in play, they don't strike out, and they don't rely on the long ball. They led the league in singles this year, and they were 13th, I think it was, in home runs this year. So they're not necessarily a bunch of power threat guys, but they get on base and they deliver with runners in scoring position. They had one of the better on base percentages with runners in scoring position this year. So Toronto, a good, solid team, maybe missing a little bit of star power, especially starting pitching wise. But those 6 teams in the American League, I think all of them possess their own individual struggles. I don't think there's a runaway favorite in the American League. I will say that Seattle, I think right now, is probably playing the hottest baseball of anybody in the American League right now, them in Cleveland. And I think Seattle has a starting rotation and has had a starting rotation for years now that is World Series capable.
Danny Vietti, CBS Sports, joining us today on a Monday. Baseball postseason gets going tomorrow. One of the best times of the year, no doubt about it. Danny, a team that's not in the postseason but just made a big move today up in your neck of the woods, actually, the San Francisco Giants, relieving Bob Melvin of his duties as manager. Did he lose the locker room? Are they looking to go a different direction? Is this a Posey decision? What do you make of the Bob Melvin firing?
Yeah, I mean, earlier indications, it's like, okay, Posey takes over a year ago, and he inherited Bob Melvin. So this wasn't necessarily Posey's pick for his manager. And so right now it's like, okay, is Posey going to go try and pry Bruce Bochy, who was his manager when they won those 3 World Series in 2010, 12, and 14 in San Francisco? Is Posey going to try and pry Bruce Bochy away from the Texas Rangers? Those are the questions that are being asked right now. But of course, Bochy is still under contract with the Rangers. So I would imagine Texas doesn't want to get rid of Bochy, but at this point in Bochy's life and career, it would be understandable if they kind of worked out a deal for him to go elsewhere. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. I don't want to say he lost the locker room, but the San Francisco Giants have gone nearly a decade now with not making the playoffs. And this is a team that has increased payroll. You acquire Rafi Devers at the deadline. This is a team trying to compete right now. And you look at Bob Melvin's recent resume. You guys know this as well as I do, better than I do. He failed to deliver. Yes, he led the team to the NLCS in 2022. He deserves a whole lot of credit for that. But they performed under expectations in 2023. And in both seasons in San Francisco, they were 80 and 82 in 2024. They finished 81 and 81 this season. They delivered under expectations. So this is now 3 straight seasons for Bob Melvin that he has not met the expectations. And I think for Buster Posey, a guy that is looking to make noise quickly and is not going to have patience, this is a guy that is looking to build a winning team right now in San Francisco because this fan base has waited long enough.
I got to ask about the Mets. You mentioned him earlier. Steve Cohen issued an apology to all Mets fans today. What do you like? Where do they go from here with one of the highest payrolls in baseball?
They got to get some starting pitching. That's what the Mets got lucky last year when they got into the not just the playoffs, but they actually made a run to the NLCS. But last year they comprised a starting rotation of like Sean Manaeas and David Petersons, and they had a limping Kodai Senga in the postseason. And similarly, this year, they did the same thing. Offensively, they were fantastic this year. Their lineup hit as well as anybody in the league. But starting rotation this year, especially towards the end of the season, they were relying on your Sean Manaeas again. They brought up Jonah Tong, a rookie. They brought up Nolan McLean, a rookie. Brandon Sproat, a rookie. They completely limped into the second half starting rotation-wise. New York continues to spend money, but they're spending it offensively. They've got to get a guy in that starting rotation. They got to get a couple guys in that starting rotation that can get them through a 162-game season, because you can't go into the second half with a lead in the wild card, but then ask 3 rookies to hopefully deliver you some quality starts. They've got to look to add some starting pitching because that was their Achilles heel this year.
All right, Danny, who's your World Series pick?
Oh boy, I'm going to go Seattle. And don't hate me now. If I say this, I feel like I'm not going to get asked back, but I will go Seattle and the Dodgers, and I will say the Seattle Mariners will topple the Dodgers in 6 games.
No, look, that's fair. You said what you thought. And a few years ago, here's the good thing for San Diego Padres fans. A few years ago, you were also horribly wrong with your World Series prediction when you said the White Sox were going to go win a World Series. So, Danny, we trust you.
This is good news. This is good news for San Diego fans because I'm clearly full of shit.
Yeah. Danny Vietti joining us today. Appreciate your time, Danny. We'll talk to you soon. I'm sure if the Padres keep advancing, we'll keep having you back. We'll talk to you soon, pal.
All right, brother. Enjoy this October. See you guys.
Danny Vietti, one of the best in Major League Baseball coverage. He works with CBS Sports. Quick break here. Long shots, which paid me a lot of money on the other side at San Diego Sports 760 on the free iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Gary Cooper over at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. Give the Mountain Trust team a shot. Give them a call today, 858-376-1299. Call Gary Cooper today at 858-376-1299. I was just having a conversation in our break room about somebody who's used Gary Cooper in the past, and they're saying all the right things, man. Gary Cooper will walk you through every step. He will give you a degree in loanology. So at whatever phase you're in the home buying, home selling, refinancing process, just give Gary Cooper a call because it's free. First of all, 858-376-1299. And Gary Cooper is going to make sure that you walk out of that conversation with the knowledge you need to really load up your gun with the best ammo. Gary Cooper's the best at that, man. 858-376-1299. He's earned my business. He's earned my wife's business. And I promise you that you're going to walk out of that conversation knowing more than you went in with. Gary prides himself on eliminating the smoke and the mirrors and the shell games when it comes to mortgages. He tells you why when you call 5 different companies, you get 5 different answers concerning interest rates and closing costs and how no points, no cost loans really work. Give Gary Cooper a call today, 858-376-1299. Visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com and get yourself a degree in loanology, courtesy of Gary Cooper today. San Diego Sports 760. It's the Fletch Zone. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. So interesting from Kevin Acey here. Dylan Cease will start game 2. Yu Darvish in game 3 if necessary. Elias Diaz says he's good to go, but Padres haven't decided whether he'll be on the roster and catch Nick Pivetta in game 1. Martin Maldonado and Luis Campusano are both here as well. If Diaz is active, Padres could end up going with 3 catchers for this series. Now, there's a name that's very obviously missing from this tweet, Sammy Long. Am I the only one that noticed this? Whose name is missing?
Where is Michael King?
Where's Michael King? Thank you. I'm glad we were on the same page there. That would have been embarrassing if we weren't. But Dylan Cease to start game 2, Yu Darvish in game 3 if necessary. Does that mean Michael King is ready to go long relief in game 2 if Cease gets into trouble?
I think he has to because he's pitching. Because if we're going on what we've seen all season long, and again, anything can happen in the playoffs. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we'll see the Padres starting rotation be fantastic. But if we're going off what we've seen all season, it's that Cease and Darvish, they're fantastic the first time through the rotation. And then innings 4, 5, and 6 is where they fall apart. So are you trying to go on game 2 or game 3, if one of them get in trouble, you're pulling them for long relief like that? I think what this means is that the guy that has the most pressure of anyone is Nick Pivetta. Because Nick Pivetta cannot burn the bullpen tomorrow. And if you do burn the bullpen tomorrow, you have to win the game, because Pivetta is the one guy you can look at and you say is an ace for this team. And if you lose with Pivetta tomorrow, it's really hard to think that with Cease and Darvish, you're going to go wins games 2 and 3 if you burn the pen and you lose with Pivetta.
Here's where this sits with me. I'm thinking Mike Schultz, AJ Preller, whoever was involved with the decision making, and we'll get to long shots in just a second. They had a conversation of who would we rather go with in game 3 if it gets to a game 3. Would we rather go with Yu Darvish and hope that Yu Darvish can turn back the clock a little bit and look like postseason Yu Darvish, who has been very good at times in his career? Or do we go with Michael King, who we still don't feel great about coming off of injury, but has looked okay? I think that's the best you can give him since he's been back from injury. And they went with the fact that we would rather have Michael King backing up Dylan Cease in game 2 in case things don't go well, and then hope on Yu Darvish in game 3. If it gets to a game 3, you're hoping that Yu Darvish can somehow turn back the clock and bring back some magic. Hope is a great strategy, boys. We'll see how it goes. I'm actually okay with this. I actually feel like if I was in the position, I would do something similar, which makes me feel even more nervous about it.
I'm just curious what the leash on these pitchers are.
I know.
That's I'm curious how. Like,
I think you're right about Pivetta. I think he's
got to go ways. Even if he gives up a run or two, unless it's like disastrous and you're like you have to get him out of the game right now because bases loaded or you're going to lose it. I think because you cannot bring this bullpen in tomorrow the entire game, and if you drop the game, you're screwed the rest couple games.
I mean, ultimately, can you just ask the offense to put up 5 runs? That's what really needs to happen.
Is it that hard to ask them to score a few runs?
I don't think so. All right, Sammy, let's get to long shots. You made me a lot of money this weekend. I'm very thankful for
the text line. Rich McGuire, our very own Tyler, very excited. We went 4 of 5. You changed my lineup on Friday.
Honestly, forgot about that till just now. I did change your lineup.
I went 4 of 5. That damn Saquon Barkley could not. I gave you a red demon. I gave you Dak Prescott over 1.5.
The Saquon Barkley was the one I changed. I added the combination of Saquon and Bucky Irving.
I literally
turned 20 into 352 for me. I don't know, but it would have turned 20 into like 60 for you.
Since I had 4 of those picks. Where's my cut of that?
Yeah. We might have to
just wondering.
Have to cook you a steak or something. All right, Sammy, let's get to long shots.
Or let's take a check.
Mm-hmm.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money, you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance.
Say that to me and his man.
With long shots.
Tyler said it perfect. He said still made money. We made profit. We with the Flex Friday. You made $44. But I'm glad that Fletch made 300 and we all got to sit back.
I honestly feel bad about that. I will not be touching your lineup today. It's going to stay the same. Sammy, where are we going?
All right, guess what? We have I got a lot. There's a lot to choose from. We got Monday night doubleheader. And then we got some MLB baseball before we get going tomorrow on air. So we're going to start with baseball, actually. Tomorrow morning, Cleveland, Detroit. These two teams, if you haven't been paying attention, Detroit, the epic collapse. Cleveland, 15.5 games back in the beginning of July and has now made the postseason. Gavin Williams, pitcher for the Cleveland, the Cleveland Guardians, 6 pitcher strikeouts. We're going to go less than. He's cooked Detroit last week. They played Detroit in a 4-game series. He had 9 strikeouts and he had 12. But here's the reason why what Vegas is telling you. 6 strikeouts. They've seen him twice in the last week. This is a pressure-filled game. I think 6 strikeouts. I think the Scooble number's high as well at 7.5. I think Gavin Williams, 6 pitcher strikeouts. We're going to go less than. The pen's going to be used for both teams tomorrow. I think that the fact that they've seen him twice in the last week, I don't like going over there. Less than 6 pitcher strikeouts for Gavin Williams. Guess what? We got a Monday night doubleheader today. Miami, the Jets, 2 teams that always when you bet on you have success. The Jets of more than 26.5 passing attempts. Okay? 2 reasons why. Coming off that concussion, I don't think they're going to get Justin Fields out of the pocket. Okay? He's the quarterback. We've seen what the offense looks like when he's not there. It's an absolute atrocity. And Justin Fields, I think they're going to be playing from behind in this game. Miami season is on the line. They looked pretty good actually in that game against Buffalo. The offense came to life a little bit. I think they're going to be playing from behind in this game, so we're going to backdoor cover this with more than 26.5 pass attempts for Justin Fields. Then let's go to the nightcap. We're going to go Denver, Cincinnati. Troy Franklin, more than 43.5 receiving yards. This has kind of been his go-to guy. This has been the guy who has been going for Bo Nix. Cortland Sutton's the one who got paid, but Troy Franklin has been very good recently. He's the young receiver out of Oregon. And in the first couple games, he had 44 yards. Then he had 89 yards against Indy, and he had 8 yards against the Chargers. And we all know about that defense, except for yesterday, is very good. Troy Franklin, more than 43.5 receiving yards against that atrocious Cincinnati defense. I think he gets this done. And then my last pick of the night, on the other side, Cincinnati, Jake Browning at quarterback. Joe Burrow's not there. We're staying away from the receivers. I don't trust T. Higgins. I don't trust Jamar Chase. I don't know what we're getting there against a pretty good Denver defense. You got Pat Surtain over there. We're staying away from the secondary. Chase Brown, more than 3 receptions out of the backfield. I think they're going to have to get him out, get the screen game going. Denver is a super tough place to play. The season's on the line. Denver could literally be 3-0 right now. I mean, a couple plays go a different way. The block they call in the Indianapolis game, if Bo Nix hits that pass on the sideline to the Chargers, they maybe win that one as well. So they're 1-2. Season on the line. Also, Fletch and I have them in Circa Survivor, so we really need them to win
Please,
today.
God.
So we're going to go more than 3 receptions for Chase Brown. I think they dump it out of the backfield, just hold the pass rush down with Nick Benito in the bunch. So to recap, 4-leg parlay, Justin Fields, first game, more than 26.5 passing attempts. Night game, Denver, Cincinnati, Chase Brown, more than 3 receptions. On the other side, Denver, Troy Franklin, more than 43.5 receptions. And then we're going to go Cleveland, Detroit, Gavin Williams, less than 6 pitcher strikeouts for the Cleveland Guardians tomorrow. Lock it in. We're going on a win streak.
Gavin one makes me nervous, I'll be honest, but I like the rest of it a lot, and I submitted it as is. No tinkering today.
We have made profit on Thursday and Friday. I won on Thursday. We won money on Friday. That only means we're only going to win on Monday.
That's what I like to call a streak. Sammy's going streaking. Somebody call the dudes from old school.
Where's Farrell at?
Nice work, Sammy. Our buddy Dave saying, just take the steak, Sammy. I'll cook you a steak. I'd love to
I'll
do
take
that
a
for
steak,
you.
but Dave, I think we could also get a little cut of it as well.
Just take the steak. Take the steak, Sammy.
You bring a steak in here tomorrow. Cook me a steak in the morning.
In the morning. Dude, I start work at like 4:30 a.m.
Hey, be efficient. Be better. You get up there at 4 o'clock. Tell the boys you're going to be in late to the rock show. Say, Sammy needs a steak. He earned it. He made me a lot of money.
You did make
Rich. If Rich Ornberger and Travis Dale will understand, I promise you.
Yeah, they will. All right, San Diego Sports 760. Hour number 2 is coming up next. We still got 2 tickets to give away. La Mesa, Oktoberfest, Sunday VIP tickets, and also Alice Cooper and Judas Priest coming up on October 13th. San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Toyota Poway in the heart of San Diego. Padres in Chicago taking on the Cubs tomorrow. That game will be going at 12 o'clock. Nick Pivetta will be on the mound for game 1. Dylan Cease will be going for game 2. And if there is a game 3, it has been reported that Yu Darvish will be getting the nod in game 3. No Michael King. No Michael King, which is interesting. We'll see if he comes out of the bullpen. Monday Night Football doubleheader tonight, getting going early at 4:15. Jets, Dolphins in Miami. Miami is currently a 2.5-point favorite. Both teams are 0-3. And the Bengals, the 2-1 without Joe Burrow, going into Denver, take on the 1-2 Broncos. Denver is a 7.5-point favorite at home to get it done. Toyota Poway voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today with APRS as low as 0% in new Toyotas in stock. There's no better time to buy during the Toyota Poway sales event, only at the Toyota Poway or online at toyotapoway.com, right in the heart of San Diego.
Welcome to the Fletch Zone.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Well, don't keep us in suspense any longer. Show us what you got.
It's week 4 in the league.
Snap, placement, kick to the uprights, and it is good! And the game ends in a tie.
Take a look at what this numbnuts did.
The Bears are celebrating. They're going to sneak out of Allegiant Stadium with a 25-24 win.
The 49ers cannot stop it. They're out of timeouts.
This is one hell of a win now on the West Coast. Congratulations to Liam Cohen and this football team.
Oops. Sorry, Fletch. Big line, Kansas City.
They're going to roll to the right side, and Emma Holmes throws for the end zone caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Marquise Brown, Hollywood.
And tonight, it's Jets versus Dolphins. Someone has to win, right? Plus, the Padres finish the season strong. Now they get set to face the Cubs in the wild card round. And we'll break down the Aztecs' win over Northern Illinois.
Tied at 3. Snap, hold, kick on the way is up, and the kick is good.
A win's a win. Especially inside the studios of San Diego Sports 760 with the Fletch Zone.
Hour number 2, let's get it going. Do we really have to include post-game audio from the Jacksonville Jaguars?
We haven't read there's a lot of great texts that welcomed you and your Niners on right at the top of the show.
It felt like too much to me. CJ, if we can clean that up for tomorrow, please.
I really enjoyed the open. I thought it was fantastic.
All right. 949 texting into the show. Told you guys to pick the Giants over the Chargers for your pick.
I said it too.
Okay. That's not like that was a safe pick by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm not going to say.
Sammy, you said Steelers. I said Texans.
Yes.
We settled on Broncos. We both would have been right.
I'm not going to say the weekend played out exactly how I said, but I did say the Chargers would lose. I said the Chiefs would win. And then I did. Fletch, I'm sorry to rub this in, but you were giving it to me the last couple of weeks. You said that the Niners over Jacksonville would be a smart play, and I shut that down immediately. Thank God I have control of Circa.
Well, okay, we have control over Circuit. You have control of literally submitting the pick every week.
So I was never going to let that happen.
Which the Niners was a conversation for approximately 5.6 seconds. We did not stick on that one long, but I did say Texans, who absolutely rolled. You said Steelers, who won a close one over in Ireland.
That was a little scary there at the end.
That game also helped us out a lot. 38 people picked the Vikings. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Sammy and I went in together on $1,000 pool out in Las Vegas at Circa. Where the winner of this Survivor pool is going to end up winning well over, it was over $18 million.
18 something. Yeah.
18 something.
I was there this weekend. I was showing the sportsbook.
1,400 people got knocked out this weekend. That's the good news. The bad news is we are among 1,830 people who picked the Denver Broncos tonight.
Oh my!
There was not a massive bloodletting this weekend. The biggest one was actually the Chargers. And then the Packers. My Niners also helped us out. You're welcome, Sammy. God, 56 people picked the Niners.
I've never said this in my entire life, but we need the Denver Broncos to win today. I've spent an entire life hating on this team, and the one time I need them tonight, they better damn come through.
I think they will. I still feel good about this pick.
I think it will too.
Like they better not effing lose.
I wanted Miami tonight, and that got shot down by everyone.
It's because it was a dumb decision, and they're
going to win. They're going to beat the Jets tonight.
Even if they win, it's going to be no one felt safe with that pick.
Bo Nix, listen, Bo. We need a performance. You cannot lose to Jake Brown.
Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin, Sean Payton,
the whole defense. Pat Surtain locking up Jamar Chase.
Come on, boys. This is Jake Browning on the other sideline.
If we come in tomorrow and Jake Browning put on a big performance, I don't even know what I'm gonna do tonight.
I don't think I'm coming in tomorrow. If Jake Browning beats us, I don't think I am. I think I'm done for the week.
Is there any thought? We need someone in Vegas to, if our pick's not going the other way, to hit a little live bet hedge. That should have been thought about.
Like take all of our money and put it the other way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're like, so if like the game's not going the way we think and we see a little comeback, we throw a little money on Cincinnati if they're down.
Oh man, I'm going to be really pissed if it doesn't work out for us, Sammy. All right, let's get to the big three of hour number 2. We'll get back to the Padres here in a little bit. We still have Oktoberfest tickets. We still have Alice Cooper and Judas Priest tickets to give away this hour. Don't go anywhere. Sammy's top stories of the day coming up right now. Smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
Told you we should have picked Texans, Sammy. Now I'm way too nervous about the Broncos.
We got a lot on the line tonight.
Oh my God.
We got a lot on the
Bo
line.
Nix,
tonight.
if you screw us, I'm done with you forever.
I swear, if Denver.
Let's get to the big three.
So crazy thing though, according to Colin Cowherd, the greatest coach of all time, and Jim Harbaugh, he lost a game yesterday, which is insane to me because I didn't know that was possible, that a Jim Harbaugh led team could lose a game. The Chargers lose in New York to the New York Football Giants. Jackson Dart has a nice debut, 2 touchdowns on the day. How do you feel about Jackson Dart moving forward? And are you disappointed in the Chargers and as their stock taking a big hit for you?
Chargers stock takes a little bit of a hit to me. Now, I am thoroughly impressed with Jackson Dart. The way he was able to continue on in that game after Malik Neighbors goes down with injury. Also, time to burn MetLife Stadium to the ground. How many ACLs have to go? How many Achilles have to go?
It's crazy. Like, they can't fix this turf.
It's absolutely absurd. It's burned so many different teams across the NFL. And now Malik Neighbors, who literally is on the verge of becoming just an absolute star in this league, loses his ACL in week 4 of the season. It's unacceptable what MetLife Stadium is. Jackson Dart, the dude is electric. He is fun to watch. He plays a little bit like Baker Mayfield, where you never actually know what you're going to get, but he always seems to make something fun happen. The Giants stock is absolutely rising. You also know who was an absolute problem yesterday for the Chargers was Abdul Carter. Now the Chargers lose Joe Alt in this game. They had already lost Rashawn Slater. I think that's a bigger part of why the Chargers lost yesterday than anything was the fact that their offensive line was in absolute disarray. But Jackson Dart, very, very fun. Excited to see what he does in the coming weeks.
I'm excited about Jackson Dart on that side of the ball. He didn't throw for a lot of yards, 154, but he got out of the pocket, moved a lot, and you could just feel like watching the Giants. It was kind of cool to see, not that I'm a Giants fan or anything, but
the
like,
young guys were all stepping up.
The energy in that stadium watching that game felt like you could feel it. Like there has not been that excitement in that stadium for a long time about a team. Cause I mean, they have just had a revolving door of average to decent quarterbacks since the Eli Manning years where they were winning championships. I thought Jackson Dart looked good, probably saved Brian Daboll's job. And I mean, I believe they got the Panthers coming up this week. They could possibly go on a 2-game win streak. The Chargers, on the other hand, you saw what happened when the injuries are piling up. Khalil Mack out, Najee Harris out, then you lose Joe Alt, like you mentioned.
Dude, the Joe Alt injury is the backbreaker.
Rashawn Slater and Mekhi Becton, you saw what happens when the team doesn't play with an elite offensive line. When they're all there, they're a good team. I'm giving them credit, they're 3-1. But looking at their first 3 wins, literally all 3 of those games, we're doing ifs and buts. I get it. I'm giving them credit for winning the games. The Bronco game, they missed the shot down the sideline that would have won it. The Talanoa Hufanga penalty killed them. The Raiders couldn't complete a pass more than 10 yards down the football field. And the Chiefs, as we saw yesterday, are a completely different team when they have a receiver back in their lineup in Xavier Worthy. So credit to them. They're 3-1, but I think we're getting a little too high on the Chargers nationally. I think they're about to come back to earth a little bit. All right, let's go to Philadelphia. Wide receiver AJ Brown. I don't know if you saw this, Fletch. So there were 0 passes completed for the Eagles in the second half of a game, and they won, which is kind of insane. They completed not a single pass in the second half. AJ Brown posts this on social media. If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, that was aimed internally at the organization to 1 or 2 people. Reaction to AJ Brown's comments.
AJ, if you've been to San Francisco this time of year, I think you'd really like it. You know, it's a locker room with a bunch of great guys. Just everyone's hurt. And AJ, you're so talented, man. I feel like wouldn't you want to be in the same building that Jerry Rice was once in? Wouldn't you want to come on over?
But can Brock Purdy get him the ball?
Shut up, Sammy. Where wide receivers are appreciated and can be loved and thrive. Look, AJ Brown wants out. I don't blame him. Philadelphia's offense, somehow, they have 2 excellent wide receivers on the outside of their offense, and they don't need to use them to win. It is an absolute superpower that they have. They are able to win games in ugly, weird ways. They did that this weekend. And Philadelphia keeps on winning, and they keep on winning with Saquon Barkley going well under 80 yards per game. They keep on winning without A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith really factoring into the game plan whatsoever. And the creativity that they play with is really impressive. That shovel pass to Dallas Goedert in the first half, I don't think I've ever seen that play before in the NFL. It's impressive what the Eagles are able to do. But if I'm A.J. Brown, I want the hell out also.
It's funny how we're seeing with the Eagles, because I got to give them a lot of credit. They're 4-0, and a lot of people I hear about, well, they don't look that great. They could have lost all these
That's what
games.
we said about the Chiefs all year last year. They ended up in the Super Bowl.
Right. So I got to give them credit because they're finding ways to win. Yes. Do I think maybe the gap between where last year it felt like the NFC and apparently everyone else, because the Chiefs were the best team of the AFC and they got dismantled in the Super Bowl. It felt like the Eagles were far and away the best team last year. I do think that the NFC, there's a lot of teams that have gotten closer to them. I think that we could see them beat in the playoffs. But I think from the Eagles side of things, we're seeing kind of what happened with the Chiefs a couple years ago. The Chiefs used to be this high-flying offense, and that's what carried them. And then the defense stepped up, and the defense is the one that carried them into back-to-back Super Bowls. This defense for the Eagles is fantastic. Cooper DeJean, the entire secondary, Quinyon Mitchell, they rebuilt that throughout the draft. So the fact that Saquon isn't playing very well and they're not completing passes to the outside, and they're still winning games, is pretty impressive. I do think at some point you're going to have to see the offense play better, but I guess shout out to the Eagles for doing that. All right, let's go to the Padres real quick. So the starters are named Nick Pivetta tomorrow, and then you're going to see Dylan Cease on Wednesday for Game 2, and then if it's Game 3, apparently per Kevin Acee, it's going to be Yu Darvish, no Michael King. What are we doing here? Is that it? Like, does that seem like a good idea to you, Fletch?
The game plan's got to be if C struggles, you're getting King in right away. I think here's what Mike Schultz is predicting. Mike Schultz is predicting that Nick Pivetta is going to go 5 or 6 innings tomorrow. They're going to get him out with a lead. Bullpen's going to take over, go the rest of the way. Then Wednesday, Game 2 of this series, it's going to be Dylan Cease to start, and he's hoping that Dylan Cease can do something similar, get you into the 5th or the 6th inning. But just in case he isn't, Michael King is going to be warmed and ready to go by the end of the 2nd inning. So I think that's the plan, and I don't hate that plan. Because this way, look, you're going to have faith in Yu Darvish. What the Padres have ultimate faith in Yu Darvish, that he can maybe come out and give you a solid vintage Yu Darvish performance in Game 3. But this has to be because Michael King is going to be warmed up and ready to go by the 2nd inning in Game 2 of the series.
I'm just concerned that you're starting 2 fly ball pitchers in Pivetta and Yu Darvish in a place that is notoriously known for it being windy at Wrigley, and he can take the ball out. I understand you pitching Nick Pivetta. He's been the best guy all year, most consistent guy. That should be your Game 1 starter. I have no problem with that. I get Dylan Cease has really picked it up the last couple weeks after that dreadful White Sox performance a couple weeks ago. It looked like he was cooked, and then he really turned things around, a couple nice starts back-to-back. And then Darvish, I get if it's Game 3, it's
Darvish is a hope.
It's
That's
a hope.
all it is.
And if Yu Darvish didn't have the name of Yu Darvish and what he did in the postseason last year, I don't think this would be happening. I think this is a complete name-based thing, and that Yu Darvish is the big name, whereas Michael King isn't as much on a national scale. If this goes to a Game 3, obviously you're going to be throwing everything in the kitchen sink, everything but the kitchen sink there, because it's the potential go-home game. So you're Michael King, the entire bullpen's going to go. But it does feel a little odd to me that Michael King, who when he's been out there has been pretty good, take minus that Mets start a couple weeks ago, that he's not starting any of these games.
I think Michael King is the 2nd starter of Game 2. I think that's where we're at. All right, how about a pair of tickets to go see Judas Priest and Alice Cooper at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater coming up on Saturday, October 18th. What a freaking show, man. Priest and Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
That's awesome. October 18th is the concert. North Island Credit Union Amphitheater is the venue. You can buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com, or you give us a call right now. Caller number 6, you're going to the show, 877-767-4760 for those tickets. When we come back, let's take a look at this text line, which is blown up with excuses to get out of work for tomorrow. They're very, very funny. That's next. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. We congratulate all of our $5,000 winners in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher making a difference, and maybe they'll be one of our next winners of $5,000 to make over their classroom. Help us say thank you to educators who are shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. How about this? Alicia on YouTube saying, hello, Tim and I are heading to K&B Bistro for the Padres watch party tomorrow to see Tony Kanja and partake in the specials. Love to see you two and the boys over from KGB LFGSD. Go check out K&B Bistro. I love that place, man. Tony Kanja is the absolute man. Tell him we said what up, and have fun, Alicia. Sammy and I will be right here on the air.
Yeah, we will. Unfortunately, very fortunately, we get stuck on there. But that's drinking at K&B Bistro would be fantastic. But Alicia, she's the best. She knows her stuff, man. About the Padres.
Alicia is the best, man. Try the Mad Brussels. Those are my favorite thing on the menu. Go check them out. 615. This is not funny. This is very serious. 615. I think the listeners are all probably torn between you guys winning Circa and getting knocked out, because if you win Circa, we're gonna have to listen to an extra 2 hours of John and Jim every day. John and Jim are fantastic. You keep that out your mouth, 615. No, Sammy and I have talked about it. If we win Circa, we're just making this show rich. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna do the show still. It's just gonna be from the vantage point of two rich guys.
And it'll be like when we give iHeart gives fantastic tickets, but maybe we'll be throwing in VIP experiences backstage. Maybe. Like, honestly, if we're there, you know. By the way, Steve's going to Judas Priest and Alice Cooper. Very excited.
What up, Steve?
Doug's going to the San Diego State game earlier.
What up, Doug? Thanks for listening. The show is going to keep going. It's just going to be the show, but Sammy and I have millions of dollars.
Yeah, we'll have like lots of bling on in here. We'll definitely have some chains.
I'm going to wear a fur coat. I think that feels right.
Yeah, I think a mink coat would feel suitable.
That'd be nice. iHeart can afford the extra AC to keep me nice and cool.
Maybe like a cane when I walk in.
I might get a grill, pimp. Sammy.
I'm gonna be like Nelly in the video, in the Ride With Me video, you know?
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, excuses for getting out of work tomorrow so you could stay at home and watch the Padres. 858, my excuse is I'm getting a stent removed from my kidney via my member. Congratulations, 858. That sounds like a good one. I think you've earned with the surgery. I think you've certainly earned a couple days off. I would think so. 858. 619. Okay, so if the goal is to come up with an excuse that nobody would question, the trick is to make them feel uncomfortable. I say go to your boss with the classic of explosive, we'll say food poisoning. Not only will your boss not want to hear it, they definitely won't have any follow-up questions.
That's smart. See, that I like that thinking right there. You can't do something like, because people are gonna pry.
I got a cold. You sound normal. Sorry, I mean I have explosive food poisoning.
I mean,
okay, stay home.
Here's the one that if you want to do it, listen, you might, some moral standards you may not feel good about, but there's always a death in the family.
Damn. Sammy.
I'm just saying.
No, dude, that's too far. You're putting that out there to the universe.
No. I'm not saying I've done it. I'm saying if you are like, I need to watch these Padre games and there's no way I can't get out of work. Even if I say I'm sick, they're going to question me.
So what do you say? Granny kicked the bucket?
You go, I have some horrible news.
My great aunt Sylvia.
She lives in Rochester and I have to fly out tonight. I will be out the rest of the week and just please send your best. What are they going to say? They go, no, we have a lawsuit coming back that way.
619. Pink eye is always the best answer. No one questions it. It's kind of gross, but it never fails. But you might need a doctor's note to go back.
But you're going
to get.
The problem is though, you have to, unless you're calling in to say I have pink eye, they're going to see if you don't have pink eye because I've had pink eye. It's disgusting.
Now here's something that has burned me in the past, not in this job, but a different job. When I was in college, I was a student manager of a grocery store on campus.
Okay.
And there was a Slightly Stupid concert that was being held in Avila Beach that I really wanted to go to. That song Mona Joan that they have is one of my favorite songs ever. It's actually one of the songs my wife and I we bonded over when we were in college was the song Mona Joan by Slightly Stupid.
Okay.
So we had to go to this concert.
All right.
I had work that night. To get out of my closing shift, day of, I said something like explosive food poisoning, something like that to get out of it. I pretended to be sick. I then post a picture from the concert to Instagram. My boss sees it.
Oh,
I'm in huge trouble.
You are an idiot.
So what I'm saying is, say you're going the Alicia route. You're getting work off. You're going to go party at K&B Bistro or something. You're going to take pictures. Don't post them. Your boss is gonna find them.
Because there's also a Ferris Bueller situation. Remember, they go to the game and they're on the jumbotron. They're up there. Like Dave says, animal passing is always. No one's gonna question that.
Dude, you can't put that out into the universe though.
The text line is asking for excuses. I'm not saying to do them. I am saying they are options if you want to.
Dave, here's the thing. You say your pet died. All right. I don't know about you, Dave. But when my pets have died in the past, I've been done for weeks. Like it
exactly, it gets you out the rest of the week.
All right, but if you say that out loud and then somehow a couple weeks later something actually happens to your pet, do you realize what a jerk you'll feel like? You're probably going to hell just for suggesting this in the first place.
Listen,
Dave, I worry for your soul.
Dave's a part of. Dave's just throwing out options. I'm trying to think of something else because here's the problem. Again, pink eye only works if you say, by the way, if you're just tuning in right now, we're talking about death of family members. We're talking about ways to get out of your job so you can sit at home and watch the Padres or go to a bar.
Yeah, it's not our fault. Major League Baseball scheduled the Padres for a 12 o'clock first pitch for the next 2 days.
By the way,
we got important stuff to do.
By the way, what's going on with that? Why are there
I mean, I know the reasoning behind it. It's like Wrigley Field barely got lights in their stadium like 20 years ago or something.
But Cleveland and Detroit
for sure
are playing at 10 a.m. on the West Coast.
For sure. Doesn't make sense. Baseball's dumb.
If you're the Major League
night
Baseball
games? Dodgers and Reds are at night.
And then Yankees, Red Sox on the East Coast will be at night. But
see, I feel like it's just a bad draw for the Padres because no matter what, the Cubs game is the game they're going to put in the middle of the day. Now, why any playoff game is in the middle of the day, I don't get. It makes no sense to me.
If you're Major League Baseball and you know that, listen, you're behind the NFL. No one touches the NFL in terms of ratings.
You should do a red zone sort of situation for the first couple rounds of the postseason.
Or first off, why can't you do a doubleheader? Why can't you play the Padres and the Cubs and the Tigers and the Guardians at the same time, and you play the Dodgers and the Reds, and then you play the Yankees, the Red Sox at night?
No, because Major League Baseball wanted to go like this, Sammy. They wanted to say, hey, I have a way to guarantee that we're going to lose ratings for the first couple rounds of the postseason. What should we do? I don't know. Let's play at 10 in the morning, or how about noon? Let's make sure nobody can watch these
Major
games.
League Baseball really would love that Brewers Blue Jays series for ratings. I mean, nothing says ratings like getting.
And they're going to schedule it all for 10 a.m. That's what they should do.
Honestly, at that point, it'd be better.
So stupid.
I'm telling you, if you want to get out of work, listen, I don't know about your moral code. I don't know where you want to go, where you don't want to go. Some people have different boundaries. That's fine.
Sure.
Hey, you do you. I'm just saying there's options to get out of work.
Pink eye or explosive diarrhea feels like the way to go. So just stick with one of those. You're good to go. All right, San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. We still have Oktoberfest tickets to give away for La Mesa celebration coming up this weekend. I'm going. Can't wait for it. San Diego Sports live on the iHeartRadio app.
The sport is sponsored by Rapid Radio's Padres taking on the Cubs in a 3-game set starting tomorrow. That game will be going at noon from Wrigley. Nick Pivetta will be on the mound for game 1. Dylan Cease for game 2. And if there's a game 3, it will be Yu Darvish, not Michael King, going for the Pods. And tonight on Monday Night Football, we got a doubleheader. Jets going into Miami to take on the Dolphins. That gets going at 4:15. Miami is a 2.5-point favorite with the point total set at 43.5. In Cincinnati with the Joe Burrow-less Bengals heading into Denver to take on the Broncos. Denver is a 7.5-point favorite with the point total set at 4.5. Rapid Radios, our instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com. You'll get an extra 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio, get an extra 5% off.
Coming up this weekend, the free 52nd annual La Mesa Oktoberfest takes over from October 3rd to the 5th. Sip and dance in 3 all-age beer gardens with nonstop Oompa and over 20 live bands. Cheer on the Dachshund races, test your skills at the Glucklich games, savor Bavarian bites, and let the kids explore the festive kids village. Raise a stein at LaMesaOktoberfest.org. The event is free. We have some VIP tickets to give away to Sunday at La Mesa Oktoberfest. LaMesaOktoberfest.org for more info. But coming up in about 5 minutes, we're going to give away some VIP passes to everything that's going down Sunday. My wife and I are actually going on Saturday. So if you're there this weekend, come by, say hi. Sammy, you are invited to that. I will pay for your beer in response for all the long shots winning we've gotten.
Yes, we've been winning a lot recently. Oktoberfest, that's fun. I've never been. That'd be a good time.
My aunt and uncle were actually just at the legit one in Germany, sending a bunch of pictures.
Really?
They were having the time of their life.
They were with Drake out there.
Who?
Drake,
the singer,
the rapper,
the rapper from Toronto.
Yeah,
Drake
from the what's the Toronto area code?
Degrassi, the TV show. That Drake.
That's a good pull right there.
Same guy
with Nina Dobrev.
Sure.
Deep cut.
Coming up in 5 minutes at 877-767-4760. We're going to give away those La Mesa Oktoberfest tickets. Come check out my hood, La Mesa. Love it over there, man. That downtown area is a lot of fun. All right. Monday Night Football tonight. We got 2 games. Sammy, I'm going to need point spreads on both of these if you can pull those up while you're at it.
I got them right now.
Dolphins, Jets, point spread.
2.5 in favor of Miami. And then Cincinnati is currently a 7.5-point dog to Denver in Denver.
Denver, we don't even need you to cover. We just need you to win the game.
Hey, you play to win the game.
That's all we need. We don't care if you cover. It'd be nice if you did. That way we have a stress-free Monday night, but God, Denver, we need you. So interesting note about what happened over the weekend. The Packers and the Cowboys tie last night, and we actually got this question on the text line, so we'll answer it now. Tie means you lose in Circa Survivor, which is really unfortunate for everybody who picked Packers because there was a lot of you, but everyone who picked Packers got knocked out because it is literally just a win or die. So Denver, tonight, we are win or die with you. And please get the job done. All right, but seriously, we take a look at it. Sammy, we've talked about this a lot with the Denver Broncos. Actually, their record is so much worse than it should be right now. Denver easily could be 3-0 heading into this game. And what are they? Are they 1-2 right now?
They're 1-2. Their only win was over Tennessee in week 1,
which is insane because they should have beat the Colts. They lose to the Colts on that weird roughing the kicker pass.
No, they called what's the penalty? They jumped the center. Leveraging.
They lose that on a leveraging play, and Denver should have at least one more win, if not 2 more wins. But tonight they're going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, who have 0 defense, and they have Jake Browning starting at quarterback. If Denver can't get it done tonight, we deserve to lose, Sammy. That's where I'm at.
In the games tonight, I'm curious because Denver, Denver's got obviously the most pressure of anyone playing tonight because Denver looks at, and this was a team that some people picked to go to the Super Bowl. Neither Fletch nor I did that, but some people were very high on them after how they finished last year. And let's just go back 9 months ago, Denver in December. Remember the game that made Bo Nix? This is what caused all the Denver Broncos. Oh, they're going to go to the playoffs. They might win the division. They're going to do all this stuff. Was when Bo Nix had that deep shot, I believe it was to Marvin Mims, against the Cincinnati Bengals in that thriller. The Bengals ended up winning the game, but Denver had that great showing on that Saturday night in week 17. This is an interesting game because the Bengals are 2-1, and it just feels like after last week, let's see how they respond. I mean, they got decimated by the Vikings. That was a crazy performance. You'd think Jake Browning would be a little bit better in week 2 or week two fully starting. But yeah, I think Denver should be fine tonight. I think.
Well, here's the thing with Denver: their playoff lives are on the line tonight, quite literally, because the Chiefs appear to be back to form. They just decimate the Ravens over the weekend. The Chargers are 3-1 on the year. Denver, if you fall too far back in the AFC West, you're going to be toast. You're going to be considered to be with the Raiders at the bottom of it. So Denver, if they don't get a win tonight, they fall to 1-3 in the season. It's already long shot playoff odds. Once you fall to 1-3, I don't have the percentage off the top of my head. I bet you it's around 15% of any team ever who started 1-3 to actually make the postseason. So you're looking at Denver like tonight. If you don't get up to 2-2, you're toast.
Yeah, you feel that way, especially because like you look at Baltimore was 1-3, but when they're fully healthy, if they can just get in, they have the ability to reel off a bunch of wins down the stretch.
Chiefs at 2-2, you feel pretty good about making the postseason.
You feel pretty good about. I said you got to be 3-3 before Rashid gets back. We'll see what happens the next 2 weeks with the Chiefs. The Broncos have to win this game. Everyone's kind of writing off the Bengals, understandably, because the team was founded on the offense and Joe Burrow's not there. In the other games tonight, I am interested because it is battle of 0-3. Some people are writing that game off, but. What is Justin Fields? Can he prove something tonight? Because week 1 against the Steelers, he looks really good. He got knocked out of the game against the Bills. The offense was terrible, and they weren't very good last week. And then on the Miami side of things, they're 0-3. We could see if they lose this game tonight at home, we're going to see wholesale changes because I think you see Chris Greer maybe fire the GM. I think you certainly see Mike McDaniel fired as a head coach. And this team 2 years ago was sitting there in the number 2 seed in the AFC until they lost to the Bills in the final week of the season. They went to Kansas City when it was literally -13 wind chill, and they lost the game. I was high on this team entering last year. They ripped off a bunch of wins late because of all the injuries to Tua Tagovailoa and guys on the defense. But we saw they were awful the first 2 weeks. They get decimated by the Colts. They showed something against Buffalo. In Buffalo, that was a great Thursday night game a couple weeks ago. Everyone thought it was going to be terrible. I'm curious if they're able to find a win tonight. They have the Panthers next week. They have the Chargers, and they have a pretty easy opponent after that. It might be the Browns or someone like that. So I'm curious. Like
tonight tells me a lot more about Justin Fields than it does about the Dolphins. Like Justin Fields, who looked excellent in week 1, was in a shootout with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is getting his ass kicked against the Buffalo Bills, leaves with a concussion, doesn't play week 3. So Justin Fields tonight, are we going to see that guy who was playing in week 1? Or are we going to see the guy who was playing against Buffalo? That's the big difference. Right?
And he's playing to be a starting quarterback
for sure.
Because this is his last shot. If he doesn't make it here, he didn't make it in Pittsburgh, doesn't make it here, and didn't make it in Chicago, he's done. There's a lot on this game tonight because we're going to see wholesale changes with the Jets or Dolphins, regardless of who wins this.
This is a fun Monday night slate. For all of you who hate the fact that there's 2 Monday night games, I don't know that I have.
I don't understand that.
I love the fact that we have 2 Monday night games.
If there's football on, it's fantastic.
It's like, look, you got the one good thing over here, and you got one good thing over here. You put them together, what do you get?
First off,
2 good things.
2 good things. And it also, you can just bet it. If you're like, oh, I don't have much in this race, if there's no playoff, just bet the game.
How about this? You ever hear of what's the multi-view?
Multi-view.
How about that? You can
By the way,
toggle back and forth which one you want the sound on.
Real quick note, you have YouTube TV?
I do.
Did you see that last night on Sunday Night Football?
Pause. I have YouTube's NFL Sunday ticket package. I don't have actual YouTube TV, but I have Peacock, so I was watching the game on that last night.
Okay. Text line, hit us up if you saw this. 70470, start your message with team. During the Cowboys-Packers game last night, they were rolling at the top of the bar about how it says YouTube TV's at it again. If you don't call and change something, get your channels back, you're going to lose NBC on YouTube TV. They were rolling it all night long. I hope I'm not the only one who saw this.
That was a thing a couple of years ago with, I think, DirecTV. They were about to lose CBS. And people were panicking because obviously CBS has a bunch of NFL games. And so DirecTV was doing this entire outreach thing because they were about to lose CBS. Interesting. I don't know. Get Peacock. It's like $8 a month.
Yeah.
You have NBC.
Shout out to NBC.
Shout out.
Stay with us on YouTube TV.
Chris Collinsworth.
I will not hear any Chris Collinsworth hate.
Just say, well, of course you won't, because Patrick Mahomes is his Jesus Christ. Like, here's the thing. Chris Collinsworth, you're a little over the top sometimes. Just
Collinsworth's fantastic.
Collinsworth, he is fantastic. He's one of my favorites, but he's a little over the top when it comes to the quarterback position. Did you see him when Patrick Mahomes fumbled last week, but he was able to get back in the play and force it to be not fumble anymore? Like Collinsworth, that's the greatest play you'll ever see a quarterback
He does love him some Mahomes. I will give you that.
He's outrageous about Mahomes.
To be fair to Collinsworth, he's admitted he's laughed about it before.
This is the least shocking thing of all time. That Sammy's favorite color analyst in the NFL is Chris Collinsworth.
I love Tony Romo. Wow. I really enjoy Tony Romo. But if we're gonna go down that road, he loves himself some Josh Allen. I mean, loves himself some Josh Allen.
We're going to close this thing out, make some picks, get a last look at the future for the San Diego Padres.
We need Oktoberfest tickets.
Coming up right after we give out Oktoberfest tickets. Hey, you want to go to the show? Not the show. Oktoberfest going down in La Mesa coming up this weekend. October 3rd to the 5th. Sip and dance in 3 all-ages beer gardens with nonstop oompa music and over 20 live bands. Cheer on the Dachshund races. Test your skills at the Glucklich games. Savor Bavarian bites. Let the kids explore the Festival Kids Village. Raise a Stein at La Mesa, Oktoberfest.org. You want a couple of VIP tickets for Sunday? Call right now, 877-767-4760. You're listening to San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use promo code Fletch. Get a $50 bonus after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks is the best app on my phone. I will tell you why. Head on over to my Instagram story at Fletch Sports. You're going to see a couple of winners from week 4 of football action. About $350 last night. That sounds nice to me. It worked. It worked for me. That's all I'm saying. All right. We did make a lineup for today. If you want to play along with us, let's see what we got. We have Justin Fields in tonight's game, more than 26.5 passing attempts. Chase Brown, more than 3 receptions. And Troy Franklin, more than 43.5 receiving yards. You can follow along with that. That one is $20 to win $200 for me. You can do the same thing. Download the Prize Picks app. Use promo code Fletch. Understand why this is the best daily fantasy sports app on the planet. It's because of the promotions. Taco Tuesdays, Flex Fridays, random lightning bolts throughout the week. Look, your favorite football players are up and going on this season. Prize Picks makes watching football more fun. Download the app today. Use promo code Fletch, FLETCH. Get a $50 lineup bonus when you play your first $5 lineup, because on Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Ow! San Diego Sports 760, 703 texting into the show. I saw the scroller, Sammy. I was wondering what that BS was about on YouTube TV.
Yeah, that was crazy.
747, oh, kids, the game times are set before the season starts. 4 and 5 seeds will play during the day, 3 and 6 at night. If the Padres were the 3 seed, they'd have the night game. If Dodgers were the 4-5 seed, they'd have the day game. Just like the NFL playoffs are set by seeding already, there is no favoritism. Here's what the NFL playoffs don't do. They don't put a game on a Tuesday at noon.
No, and the NFL doesn't have a ratings problem. The NFL could put a game at damn near 4 a.m, and guess what? There would be 30 million people tuned in.
I'd wake up and watch.
I would too. The MLB, I don't know why we're killing the ratings for a sport that we all love. I don't get it.
I don't think I could read this text from the 858 about Chris Collinsworth, but it's true. Collinsworth has turned into let's call it a over hyper upper. Over hyper upper. That's a good way of saying
Not the terminology 858 used.
No, they were talking about something completely different, but it's same sentiment.
I don't
He's
appreciate
too much is what he is.
I don't appreciate you coming at my guy Chris Collinsworth.
It's not just with Mahomes, by the way, anymore. He was doing it to Dak last night too. He does it to Josh Allen whenever they're on Sunday.
Okay, but Dak
football.
did have like an amazing performance for no CeeDee Lamb.
So it was fitting. But when Mahomes is throwing interceptions and fumbling the football, we don't need to be talking about how Mahomes is so great and that was such a great football play.
Well, he was just saying
Like
because
a
he
bad
ripped the
play.
ball out when it fumbled.
Right, but a bad play could just be a bad play. We don't need to go over the top.
Okay, listen, just because you don't get the same Brock Purdy love.
I like Chris Collinsworth.
It doesn't sound like
I'm just saying, your love for Chris Collinsworth is no coincidence.
I think that whole team between Al Michaels and Collinsworth and now Tirico is fantastic.
Well, it's weird because Al Michaels isn't even on the broadcast anymore, Sammy.
I
Boom,
said like
lawyer.
it used to be.
Mm.
What's the best broadcast team in football?
Kevin Harlan and whoever he's sitting next to.
And Trent Green, fantastic.
I'd say Adam Archuleta actually does a really nice job.
I like Archuleta.
He doesn't get a lot of love because he is not the name of like a Tom Brady or something, but Adam Archuleta does a very nice job. I think Greg Olson's fantastic.
He's phenomenal.
Every time I hear Greg Olson say something on a broadcast, I feel like I get a little bit smarter, which is a huge credit to a color commentator.
Some guy that I can't believe he's been the 4th guy on CBS for. I love Spiro Ditas.
Spiro's awesome.
Like I don't know why he has
Spiro does it with Adam Archuleta, right?
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure that's the game.
Okay,
broadcast.
okay, all right. Then we're
I
the
think
same one.
Ian Eagle and Evan Washburn's the sideline guy, and Charles Davis. I think they do an incredible
fantastic
job. CBS has it figured out, man.
CBS is so much better than Fox. Not even in terms of like the Fox announcers. I like
Burkhardt a lot. Brady goes up and down for me.
That's not about the announcers for any Fox CBS game is fantastic. Burkhardt, all of them. But like the CBS production is so much better than NFC or than the Fox. And I get it. If you grew up watching the NFC, you probably grew up watching more Fox.
But the CBS music with the drums in the back. Fox's music is good too, but CBS, it feels more intense.
It's better.
I like CBS's broadcast a lot. By the way, neither of us once said Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Yeah, that is the worst of the national big broadcast.
I would agree.
Like ESPN is interesting. Like the Sunday Night Crew on baseball, not it.
All right. This is cool. So couple of things. 619 Fletch not reading Niners tweets today is Mark Willard soft.
Hey,
very funny.
619. It's so cool because I'll read them.
There we go. 858. Looks like the 49ers need to trade for Olave, Granderson, and AK. Shoot. Tyler Shucks too. 619, $48 million for a performance like that. Brock Purdy engineered an all-time heist. He just stole money. Look, they're very funny, and Brock Purdy didn't play great. I don't think the interceptions were his fault. The fumbles, absolutely his fault. He looked rusty. What else do you want me to say? The Niners lost.
Do you guys notice how like all the weeks the Chiefs have lost, and we've opened the show with Fletch Dog in Kansas City, and I was trying to be respectful today, but we can certainly get into that game and how the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that Fletch thought I was crazy for supporting or not supporting, but thinking that they were going to go to the playoffs. I mean, rough outing. Is it time to put the Mac attack in? I don't know.
The Mac attack would have been in if the Mac attack was not hurt. Brock Purdy clearly is not fully recovered from injury yet. If we really want to go down this rabbit hole and point out some plays in that game where I think the game shifted, none of them had to do with Brock Purdy.
Apparently, per Rappaport, he's TBD for Thursday night against the Rams.
I know he's not. His toe is still injured. His muscle is literally ripping off the bone, guys. Can we just be cool about it one time? We also didn't talk about the Aztecs today. Look, you can say whatever you want about that game. 6-3 win over Northern Illinois on the road.
Covered the spread, baby.
A, they covered the spread. That's what great teams do. And B, last year's team 10 out of 10 times loses that game.
Totally.
On the road, tough environment. Northern Illinois' defense was playing phenomenally. San Diego State did enough to get out of there with a win, and they're heading into conference play 3-1. That's all I really care about.
Can I tell you something real quick? We're at the Circus Sportsbook and we're watching the game, and there's like LSU and Ole Miss on all these crazy games. People are going nuts, and we had a little money on the Aztecs. So when the Aztecs got the stop at the end, we were like the only people going nuts in the middle of the sportsbook.
Have you ever seen a college football game with more momentum shifting moments that did nothing to the momentum of the game? Like seriously.
No, I you're 100% correct.
Like there were so many times where you're like, oh, that game just flipped on its head. It's going back the other way. Oh, nope, 3 and out.
Listen,
so many
offense got some things to figure out, but shout out to the defense for going on the road and holding a team to 3 points. That's you got to give credit where credit's due.
Rob Aurich, who's been on this show, the defensive coordinator for the Aztecs, the job he's done with this group this year, incredible work. I'm excited to see what happens.
We got to see the offense get some things solved, but of course, shout out to the defense.
Look. Points on the first 2 possessions of the game, no points again until the last second of the game. We didn't even talk about Penn State, Oregon today.
There's so much to we could do another 3 hours. We could get to college football. There's so much to do here.
John and Jim, just stay on the sideline. We got this.
Hey guys, we're taking it home.
John and Jim are coming up next. Congratulations to everyone who won tickets today. We got a bunch more for you tomorrow, and we will be broadcasting live from noon to 2 tomorrow. No matter what is going on around us, we'll be right here. Fletch and Sammy, we out.